We are now going to play around with strings and we're going to learn something nice. So let's start with our alphabet set. I'm going to call them alpha, and alpha will be all the alphabets: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So after this, when I say print alpha of 10, what will it do? Let's start with 0 maybe. It will print the first letter in the alphabet set here. Alpha of 0 will be the first letter here, right? Alpha of, let's say, I, and I'll say I equals 10. It will display the 11th alphabet, K. 10, if 0 is A, 1 is B, 10 will be your K, right? Clear? So far so good. Now, just in case I go on like this and I display the 10th alphabet, rather ith alphabet, and then display the alphabet after I, which is I plus 1, as simple as that. And then I say alpha I plus 2, okay? Then print alpha I plus 3. So what does this do? Let's see. If I start with I equals 0, it gives me A, B, C, D. Right? It's very obvious what this is doing. I don't have to explain it to you. Right? By looking at the code, you can tell me what exactly is happening. I declare the variable alpha, which is a string A to Z. Right? All letters in alphabetical order. Lowercase, as you can see, all 26 letters are here: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And I say I equals 0, and I display alpha of I plus 1, alpha of I plus 2, alpha of I plus 3. If I were to do I equals 10, it will start from K, as you can see, and then go to L, M, N. Okay, if I go to 20, it starts from U, V, W, and X. The best part now is if I say 25, it will start with Z, of course. Alpha of 25 is Z. Well, you would have guessed it right. Alpha of 26 will throw an error. Precisely what we see here. String index out of range. Your alpha is only 26 letters long, which means you can go up to alpha of 0 to alpha of 25. You cannot go beyond that. While I equals 25, I plus 25 becomes 26. Alpha of 26 becomes outside the range. Precisely what Python is telling me. String index out of range. Well, no problem. There's a way to sort this out. So what do we do? Observe. Let me delete this for the time being, and then say alpha of 20. I'll print this, just this, nothing else, right? Just this. It shows U to me. Let me clear the screen. It simply shows the 21st alphabet letter, which is U. As you can see, it's U here, right? But then if I say I equals 30, and then if I just print, let me just comment this. If I just print I modulo 26, this is modulo operator, right? It gives you the reminder when you divide a number by 26. So 30 by 26, the remainder happens to be 4. Observe. If I equals 26, I mod 26 will be 0. If I equals 27, I mod 27 will be 1 as it is displayed. Now you know where I'm getting. What I will now do is I'll print alpha of I modulo 20. Okay. And then when I say I equals 25, it displays the 25th letter. Right? I'm sorry. It should be 26 here. I mod 26. The 25th I equals 25 means the last alphabet Z here. But the moment I say I equals 26, it goes to 0. because 26 modulo 26 is 0 and alpha of 0 will be A. Correct? Let's see what happens when I say I equals 27. 27 modulo 26 is 1, so alpha of 1 should be B, so on and so forth. So do you see what's happening? If I were to type alpha of 24, what is that? 25th alphabet, which is Y, correct? Then I say alpha of 25. A good way to do this is call this 24 and keep calling these I mean, they're all one and the same. I'm trying to do it in a way that it's easy on the mind. It's good to use variables as much as possible, right? So alpha of I, alpha of 24, alpha of 25, alpha of 26. This should be Y, Z and A, correct? Think about it. Yeah, I get Y, Z and there is an error. Why the error? Because I did not do modulo 26. When I do modulo 26, it will not go beyond 25, right? If it's beyond 25, it becomes 0. 26 is 0, 26 is 0, 27 is 1, 28 is 2 and so on. I modulo 26. I hope this is clear to you all. Pretty simple. I'm in fact going very slowly, assuming that for some people modulo operator may be new, right? Okay, so Y, Z and A. If I were to make I equals 25, you see 25 mod 26 is 25, which is Z, alpha of 25 and AB. You see it's getting rotated. It goes from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. After Z, it again starts with A. So this has a very interesting application, which I'll tell you in a minute now. Okay, so yeah, so far so good. Now what I will do is I will take my name. Okay, you can take your name. All right, so I'll say S equals Sudarshan. What I expect to see as an output is I want to print T V E B S T I B O. You know what this is? This is simply, let me comment this. I expect to output TVEBSTIBO. What is that? This is exactly one letter shifting of this string, right? SUDARSHAN. If you shift that by one letter, you will get this. And whatever you want to type here, right? India, Chennai, your name, your friend's name, any English word, it should shift it by one letter. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, it's very simple. Let us try it out. As you know, I'm going to use this string function called index, which we have discussed recently. So I believe you know of it. If not, please go ahead and revise your previous videos and understand what index does. It's basically self-explanatory. You need not go through it, but in case you're in doubt, you can go through it. So let us start. I would say T will be my new string where I'll be creating one letter shift of this string that I have here. How do I go about it? I first say I will check S of 0. What is it? And what is its index in alpha? So S of 0, let's see what this does. Patiently you must observe. S of 0 is S, correct? The first letter S. And what is its index? What is S's index in this alpha? I mean, which alphabet is S? If A is 0, S is what? Let's check. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is 18. Let's check that. Print alpha of index of S of 0 has to be 18. Yes, it says 18 here, as you can see. Right? Good. So, I am just clearing the screen. So, fine. So, alpha of index of S of 0 is 18. And what I want to do now is, I do not want S of 0, I want one shift of it. But then when I shift by 1, I explained a problem that you will encounter, right? I'm just trying to close the bracket that I have opened. I hope I'm right. Maybe one bracket needs to be closed. Okay. So now this will print the index of S and plus 1 to it. Okay. And what's the alphabet? I basically want the alphabet, right? So for that, I may have to say this is a number. So S of so much. Okay. And I want to print this. Maybe I have used one extra parenthesis. Good. More the parenthesis, less the confusion. So this should print, index it out of range. What is happening? So there's a small mistake in programming. I should not display S. I should say alpha. Why? That's because I take the first letter of S. Very simple. Just look at this. Convert this to plain English. I look at the first letter of S. Look at its index in the alphabet. What is its number? Right? Whatever is S of 0, which is S. What is its number in the alphabet set? I add 1 to it and then display that. By display that, I mean what is the which alphabet is that when you add 1, when you shift by 1 unit, what alphabet do you get? Whatever it is, you will see that here. So it is T, right? I executed this. It is T. If instead of Sudarshan, I were to say, let's say India, I becomes J here. Right? That's the first letter. And what I want to do is I don't want to print this. I want to append this to T. So what I'll do is I'll say T equals T plus, remember, plus of a string appends that to it, right? If I say print T, it will show me J. Correct? So far so good. So next, let's say I'll try to take the next letter, which is S of 2. So for that, a good idea would be to say I equals 0 here and then make this my I. Alright? And then now do this and append the next letter in the string S. Add 1 to it and then take modulo 26. Right? And then append that to T. Okay, things are getting a little complicated, so let me try explaining this slowly to you. The string T will be equal to the string T appended with the next letter of the I plus 1 letter, which is N. So in fact, before going any further, it's probably a wise idea to print and see what is T. So what do you expect T to be? I becomes J and gets appended to T. N should become O and should get appended to T. Let's see if that's happening. Perfect. I is becoming J, N is becoming O. So far so good. Now let's see what is next that needs to be done. I will copy paste this to make it easy, right? So I say T is equal to the existing T, concatenate that with the take the index of S of I plus 2, it should be, right? The next letter and shift it by 1, take modulo 26 because in case it goes beyond Z, then it should rotate as I explained, right? And then print it. JOE as expected, right? D becomes E. Now let me do it for I. I'll go slowly once again. I'm sorry I'm being repetitive. Again, in the interest of people who are seeing this for the first time, please note that programming can get complicated, but if you make it easy on your mind by going slowly, staying patient, using a pen and paper, in trying to write a diagram of what's happening, things will be very easy for you. Okay, so T will be whatever T was concatenated with the alphabet, which is the shifting of S of the 0, 1, 2, 3, the fourth letter, right? And then close the bracket, and then add 1 to it because you're shifting, and do modulo 26 to it just so that you don't mess up when it's the last letter. Okay, so in D, INDI becomes so much. Very good. This is not looking neat. Let me remove the spaces here so that it looks uniform. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I get JOEJB, right? India becomes JOEJB. Perfect. So as you can observe, I go up to the last letter here. If it were to be one letter more, let's say I take Chennai instead of India, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters. Okay, I may have to type this 7 letters. Otherwise, what will happen? Let me just execute this and see what happens. Chennai is getting shifted here. DIFOO. Let me clear the screen and then execute it. Chennai is becoming, C is becoming D, right? Execute this. C is becoming D, H is becoming I, E is becoming F, right? N is becoming O, N is again becoming O, A, I am yet to do, right? So let me copy paste it and then do it 2 more times. Let's say I plus 5, I plus 6. Okay, the entire Chennai right now is shifted by 1 letter. Now what if I want the shift to be by 2 letters? Okay, then instead of 1, I just need to put 2, correct? Let me make that a variable here. Now you see an application of variables, right? I say k equals 1 and make this one k. Okay, k. Okay, why would I do that? You will see that in a minute. I already explained that if I want this k to be different, I don't want to shift once, I want to shift twice. Let me execute it. Perfect, it's the same answer. But if I want to shift it twice, then I may want to put k equals 2. When you put k equals 2, look, Chennai is getting shifted twice, k equals 2, and C is becoming DE, H is becoming IJ, and E becomes G, N becomes NOP, N becomes again NOP, A becomes C, and I becomes K, right? Very simple. If you want to shift even more, let's say by 20 units, okay, whatever that is. So C becomes W, H becomes B, because it goes beyond Z. As you can see, it is getting circled and it is coming back, right? Very good. So as you can see, points to note here is that point number 1, programming can get complex. You are seeing that it is getting complex here, right? You may have to think through it. In fact, as I was compiling this, I ended up getting confused a little, but then when I wrote it down, it was pretty clear to me. It's just a matter of practice. You will get used to it. Also, please note that errors are very common in programming. As in when you type, it's never flawless. As in when you type, you will face errors and you must fix them on the fly, right? So it was complex here. So point to note is things can get complex. Point number 2, the moment you type, whatever you type here, you must type it so many number of times here. Point number 3 is you can keep this k as a variable instead of putting it 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 here in k, or 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Instead, you can simply put k equals whatever number you want and execute it. You will get a shift. This is another quick importance of why use variables. Right? Perfect. Try coding this. You probably are wondering, is there any way we can avoid writing so many lines here? If it's a very long word like abracadabra, okay, it's a very long word, or let's say we have our IIT, Indian Institute of Technology. If you want to, convert this, this will only convert up to this point. Right, it will not go beyond that, right? So it's already throwing a error here saying that the substring is not found, right? That's because we have, capital I here. See, such small mistakes one has to be very careful about, right? So the capital I here created a problem and now it is going good, right? Clear screen and let me show it to you. What this is doing is simply taking the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters of this and then shifting it by 1. Indian becomes JOEJBOJ, and you should type this so many times whatever is the number here. I mean, how big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, roughly maybe 25 approximately. So you should type this 25 times. Is there any way we can automate this? Yes, you can do this in just a one-liner. We are coming there. The next week will be an introduction to how to make repetitive things easily sort of codable by writing a piece of code. So what I will then do is, instead of going this one by one letter at a time, right, one letter at a time, what I will do is I will tell the computer, go through these letters one at a time until you hit a dead end. There's a way to do that, right? And we'll be discussing that in the next week. But as of now, this is just a warm-up exercise for you all to understand that we can meddle around with strings like this. In fact, what we tried doing just now is popularly called the Caesar Cipher. When k equals 3, which is 3 shifts, okay, this code, let me just write that down in the comment, just so that you can take a look at it. This is popularly called the Caesar Cipher in cryptography. If you want someone to not read your messages, then you can shift it by a particular k and then use that k as a key and tell them that unless you shift back by k units, you will not know what the text is. Right? That's precisely what we did just now. We just did one way. The other way is to shift it back. You make a minus k here, right? And you will get back the letter, right? So you can try that out all by yourself. And that's it for, I would say in this week, this is slightly complicated an example, but then don't worry, we have to introduce complexity somewhere. We introduced it here. Things will get easier with time. And in fact, you will be thrilled to see that this very same code can be done. By the fag end of the third week, you will be able to write this code in just a couple of lines.